I turned 24 years old recently, and I wanted to share a few quick lessons that I learned that I wish I would have learned earlier in my life. The first one is that we live many lives and we die many deaths. We go through lots of stages in life, from childhood, school, college, entering the workforce, old age. And recently it's been helpful for me to think about these stages as individual lives. I am not the same person I was when I was 18 years old. The childlike wonder, the lack of true responsibility, and the seemingly endless possibilities of what life at 24 would look like are gone. And it genuinely feels like that part of myself is dead, no longer here. We learn, grow, and fundamentally change throughout these stages of life, and that's okay. But it also lets you see how truly important it is to take advantage of each one of these stages while you're in it. I missed having a traditional college experience, and while I still think that was the right choice for me, I can't go back to when I was 18, leaving home for the first time to go meet friends and discover myself, but part of me kind of wishes I would have taken advantage of that when that stage of my life was still active. And this also works with time going in the opposite direction. I'm probably not going to be able to climb mountains or do kickflips or party until 2 in the morning when I'm 65 years old, and I know that. And so I have to take advantage of those things while this stage of my life is happening. We live many lives, we die many deaths, and you have to take advantage of the one that you're living. Number 2 is growth mindset. This idea is really simple, but it's completely changed my life. Having a growth mindset is simply believing that your skills and talents can be developed through hard work, strategy, and good input from others. People with this mindset tend to achieve much more than those with a fixed mindset, or those who believe that skills or abilities are innate talents that can't be learned, but something you're born with. Imagine someone seeing a professional musician and being like, wow, they must have been born to play music. I could never do that. Versus a person who looks at a professional musician and thinks like they put in shitloads of time and energy, and just like anyone else, they learned a skill. And with that same amount of time and energy, I could theoretically learn that too. The second person is going to get much further in life. Number 3 is having an internal locus of control. Locus of control is the degree to which people believe that they, as opposed to external forces, have control over the outcomes of their own life. People with a strong internal locus of control believe that the outcomes in their lives are primarily a result of their own work and their own actions. Having an internal locus of control means that you take accountability for the fact that you alone are the one that is in charge of the outcomes in your life. You control your life, you control your destiny, no one else. Number 4, you will never arrive. Everyone is working towards something. A goal they want to achieve, a job they want to get, a person they want to date. In the moment, it can seem like getting that thing is all that matters, and that you won't be happy or fulfilled until you get it. But this is unfortunately never true. You will never arrive at a totally satisfied, happy, and fulfilled state from trying to achieve your goals. Everything is fleeting. Accomplishments, items, people. When you accept that you'll never arrive at this perfect end state, it's much easier to accept where you are and to enjoy the journey, to allow yourself to be happy. After 24 years of trying to figure out what the hell life is about, it kind of seems like enjoying this weird, beautiful journey is kind of the whole point. Number 5. Question your emotions. I felt a lot of very strong emotions in the 24 years that I've been alive. And I think the most powerful way to understand yourself is to really dig into why you feel the emotions that you do. Love, anger, jealousy, judgment all mean something. Next time you get hit with a strong emotion, especially a negative one, really try to dig into it and examine where it's coming from. What happened in your life? What did you learn that is causing you to feel this? I've had to unlearn a lot of judgment and self-consciousness that I didn't even know I had until really digging into these emotions. Every emotion has a source. If you can understand where your emotions come from, you'll understand yourself better than 99% of people. Number 6, therapy will give you superpowers. Either understand your mind or become a slave to it. I think going to therapy was probably the best decision I ever made for myself, and it taught me one of the most important skills there is. And that's truly understanding how my mind works. Your mind controls everything you do, every thought you think, every emotion you feel, and if you can learn how to understand it, you can work with it instead of fighting it all the time. Fighting against your mind can only lead to depression, anxiety, and addiction. No matter who you are or if you have anything going on, go to therapy and learn how to work with your mind rather than fight against it. It is likely the best thing I've ever done in my life to benefit my overall health, and I recommend it to literally everyone. Sorry, I had to move. The sun's getting in my face. The spotlight effect. The spotlight effect is a psychological phenomenon where people believe that they are being watched or judged more than they really are. We are the center of our own universe, so it's really hard to determine how much people are paying attention to you, and most of us tend to overestimate by a lot. People straight up give up or don't even try new things because they're afraid of what other people will think. But the truth is that nobody cares what you're doing. Everyone is the main character of their own story, and they're definitely not thinking about you for more than like a second. This was something I really struggled with a lot when I started my YouTube channel, because I was trying something new, I was doing something weird, and I thought that my friends, family, and strangers on the internet would judge me for that. And then I made a couple of videos, got like 10 views, and realized that like no one actually gives a shit. Like, it was just myself that was putting this fear on me. It wasn't something real. Like, no one's out there judging you, watching you, trying to like hope you fail. Like, people are too focused on their own thing. So just don't worry about it. This actually goes really well with the next lesson I learned. Embrace the cringe. The curse of being a beginner. Learning something new is always awkward. When you start something new, you're likely not going to be good at it, you're likely not going to know what to do or how to do it, and you're definitely not going to fit in. But your biggest critic, and the only person that can actually stop you from trying new things and having new experiences, is you. If you can silence your inner critic and allow yourself to learn and try and fail without self-judgment, you're gonna do so much better and grow so much faster at anything that you try than someone who's too self-conscious to try something new or fail and look weird. Trying and failing is the most effective way to learn. Be okay with being a beginner, be okay with failing. Number 9. You attract the energy that you put out into the world. The people you meet and the experiences you have are directly correlated with the energy that you put into the world. If you want to attract positive and energetic people, you literally need to give those vibes out to the universe. The more loving you are, the more love you will receive in your life. And the same goes if you're an asshole. Like, the worse you are as a person, likely the worse your life and the people in your life are going to be. Number 10. When looking for love, never wear a mask. Pretending to be someone you're not will only attract people that like the thing you're pretending to be. If you want to make real connections with people who can see the real you, you need to be that person and never hide it. I used to have a real problem with trying to portray myself as cool and serious and distant, because for some reason that's what I thought would attract people. But anyone I met while wearing this mask of a personality, I just couldn't connect with. They didn't know the real me. I'd never showed them. After realizing this and actively trying to be my true self, regardless of judgment or acceptance, I found the love of my life not long after. Everyone deserves to be with someone who loves them for who they are, but that person will never find you if you don't show the world who you really are. Fear is your friend. Fear is the best teacher that I've ever had. In a world where most of us are safe from evolutionary threats and aren't constantly fighting for our survival, fear isn't designed to keep us safe. It's designed to show us what you think your limits are. If you're afraid of something that has no real consequence of failure, this is just fear telling you that this is a place you need to grow as a person. There's nothing inherently dangerous about public speaking, but people are terrified of it. I call these unreasonable fears because the pain of failure is almost nothing. There's really no repercussions if you don't succeed. If you can find and overcome these unreasonable fears, you'll grow so much faster than you ever thought possible, and you'll start seeking out these fears just to destroy them. In your own life, try to find something that you're afraid of that doesn't have very many consequences if you fail, and do it. Thank me later. I'm just moving away from this sun every like 5 seconds. Number 12. Don't forget about the side quests. It's easy to get caught up in your goals and zeroing in on your career or your finances, your journey to self-realization. But remember that there are so many amazing, weird people, places, and things to do in this life. Recently, I got my commercial drone pilot's license for pretty much no reason at all. I had to take an online course, learn a bunch of stuff about air traffic, weather patterns, and drone regulations. Absolutely nothing I learned in this process will help me advance in my career or towards my other goals, but it was fun as hell. I did this to remind myself of the endless possibilities of what we can do and be in this life. It's the same reason why I randomly went to LA to take a surf lesson for the first time this year. Neither of these things are going to help me in my career as a data analyst or help me achieve my goals, but these were all unique experiences that deeply enriched my life. Variety is the spice of life, and these little side missions can really help it feel more full. Damn, I've been recording for half an hour. We're not even halfway through. Okay. Let's pick up the pace. Number 13 is baseline theory. Baseline theory is a term that I created to describe the work that you need to do on yourself before you can really start enjoying what life has to offer. Your life stats need to be at a healthy baseline before you can really take off. It's hard to take advantage of life when you're physically or mentally unwell, or you're seriously in debt or have no support system. Mental, physical, financial, social, and spiritual health all need to be met and at a healthy baseline before you can really start playing the game of life and truly see what you can do. Evolutionary skills. Evolutionary skills are things that our species had to learn to survive at one point in time. Running, climbing, swimming, fighting, these are all examples of evolutionary skills. And while in modern life, most of these skills are pretty much obsolete in terms of survival, the better you get at these skills, the more innate confidence you have when interacting with the physical world. The better you become at these skills, the more your mind starts to trust your body and just allow you to perform confidently in pretty much any physical situation. 15. Meditate on your death every single day. Memento mori is a phrase that I talk about a lot, and it's Latin for remember that you have to die. It's a reminder that we won't be around forever, so we need to really live with urgency and treat every single day as if it is possibly our last. Remember that you and everyone you love are mortal. Take advantage of the time you have with them and tell the people close to you that you love them while they're still here. As my girlfriend would say, memento mori is a more productive YOLO. 16. Humans aren't meant to be alone. In the periods of my life where I've been the most depressed, I've also been the most isolated. There is a distinct correlation between aloneness, isolation, and sadness. I'm a very introverted person, and even though I love spending time by myself, it's not even healthy for me to be alone for an extended period of time. And the pandemic lockdowns taught us this firsthand. Don't doubt the value of community, even if you're a self-proclaimed lone wolf like I was. 17. Storytelling is the most powerful skill you can learn. We've evolved as a species for millions of years to best absorb information through stories. We are captivated and compelled by them more than any other form of communication. If you can learn to tell good stories, you'll become a more interesting person, better to communicate and convince people of your ideas, and you'll be able to find more meaning in your life. 18. Get off the hedonic treadmill. The hedonic treadmill is a metaphor for the tendency for humans to pursue one pleasure after another. It's super easy to get caught up in wanting the newest, biggest thing, a new car, a fancier apartment, a better computer. I say as I just bought a new MacBook the other day. This happens because the surge of happiness that's felt after a positive event like sitting in that new car for the first time will quickly go back to your baseline level of happiness. So how you felt before you bought the car. Pursuing more pleasures will only make you feel happy for a moment, and then you'll feel normal again. This is why there are still depressed millionaires, because no amount of material pleasure will ever be enough. If you can realize this and get off the endless cycle of the hedonic treadmill, you'll be happier than most people. And a hint, gratitude is the answer here. 19. Creating is better than consuming. One thing I wish I'd learned earlier is how much better creating is than consuming things. Consumption of food, content, and other things can feel really good in the moment, but can leave you feeling empty afterwards. Creation is much more difficult, but much more rewarding than consumption. And the joy you get from creating things sticks around a lot longer. Like the happiness and confidence you get from learning to cook a new recipe typically lasts a lot longer than just the moment you eat that meal. And this is especially true on the internet. Like, you can waste hours watching YouTube videos, but no video that I have ever watched has even come close to making me as happy as when I finish and edit and get to upload a video of my own. Creating is always better. Number 20. Books aren't sacred. I was scared of books for a long time. Like, once I started reading a new one, I felt like I was obligated to finish it, and there was some moral high ground to reading every single word cover to cover. Learning to treat books more like articles was the best thing I've done for actually extracting information from books, and it got me to read more. It's okay to skip stuff. It's okay to skim and read only the parts you want. It's even okay to read half and never finish the rest. Treat books more like articles, and you'll spend way more time reading things that actually matter and skip the rest. You don't get a special prize for finishing a book cover to cover. All right, last 3, let's go. 21. Grit wins every time. Luck, talent, and circumstances are often the main things attributed to someone's success, but grit is the most important. Successful people just keep trying over and over again, regardless of failure or discouragement. If you can set a goal and show up every day with an unwavering belief that you will one day accomplish it, you're gonna win at everything you do. 22. Travel alone at least once. Solo traveling is one of the most rewarding experiences you can have. Being in a completely new place, alone, and left to your own devices will force you to grow as a person. Along with the absolute freedom to explore a place exactly how you want to, traveling alone will put you out of your comfort zone and force you to interact with local people, try new things, and will open your eyes to a way of living that is likely very different from what you're used to. And you're also free to be whoever you want to be in a place where no one knows who you are. This locational anonymity is really nice for growing and learning more about yourself. I think everyone should travel alone at least once. 23. Show your work. Learning something new is fantastic, but I always believe it is better to learn in public. Even if you're an absolute beginner, share what you're learning and what you're working on the internet. I've been learning how to make videos for about a year now, teaching myself how to write scripts, use a camera, edit, and if I would have waited until I was really good at all of these skills, I would have uploaded 0 videos instead of around 20 that I have right now. Sharing your journey is way more powerful than sharing the final result. Try, fail, and learn in public, and your skills and growth will happen so much faster than you thought they would. Last but not least, number 24, keep searching. I use the phrase keep searching in my writing and my videos a lot, and it's kind of the philosophy that I live by. In the search to find out who we are and what we love to do is where I feel most alive. When you're engaging in an activity that makes everything around you fade away, leaving you perfectly in flow, is what I live for. In psychology, a flow state, known as being in the zone, is a mental state in which a person performing some activity is fully immersed in a feeling of energized, focused, full involvement and enjoyment in the process of the activity. I use this phrase in my videos because this is the feeling I get from making them. The search, the process, is paradise. It's never been about arrival or completion. It's always been about the process, about the search. Keep searching is a reminder to myself to stay in this state, not looking for an ending or to completing a goal, but to be fully present in what I'm doing, because that's where the best parts of life are. That was 24 things that I wish I would have learned earlier. Keep searching. See you next time.